Bruh. That's what I'm posting now, dude. Swear to fucking God, bro. Just posted that shit. What does it say? 6 minutes ago. Official chokes up during press conference in the Bird. You about to get into this shit right here.
Alright, welcome back. I'm Frederica Whitfield in New York. I'm going to take you straight to Pittsburgh right now for an
Galaxy Chat A2016.
Everybody in Pennsylvania, these were our neighbors. These are fellow Pennsylvanians, and this is an incredibly sad day. I want to thank the first responders for doing what they have done to make us safe and to respond so quickly and so effectively to this tragedy. And I want to turn it over to Wendell.
Wendell Hesrick, the City of Pittsburgh Public Safety Director. As the mayor mentioned, we've had a tragedy here today. The work of the first responders has probably prevented it from becoming much more tragedy than what it is. The scene is very bad inside. There are multiple fatalities. There are at least 6 injuries, to include 4 police officers. The police officers' injuries at this time are non-life-threatening. The other individuals are critical and serious in nature. They were taken to 3 of the level 1, level 2 trauma centers here in the city of Pittsburgh, that being Allegheny General, UPMC, and UPMC Presby and UPMC Mercy. At this time, I'd like to say that we have established a phone number with the assistance of the FBI for any questions from victims' families. That number is 412-432-4400. Once again, it's 412-432-4400. A victim's assistance and reunification.
This motherfucker still alive? That's what I be wanting to know, man. This bitch still alive, man. Y'all let that motherfucker live? Like you just let the last dude in Kentucky live? Bruh. Oh my damn, dude. Oh my God, bruh. They always find a way not to kill these motherfuckers. And once again, a black dude with a cell phone. Oh, it's a gun. Shoot him dead. But somehow a motherfucker who really did just kill some people, you can handcuff this guy every time. Every time they find a way to put the cuffs on the mass shooters. But the black man who got parking tickets and a bench warrant for some weed, y'all shoot this man to death. There is definitely something wrong in the goddamn construct. Something is wrong in the construct.
Everybody in Pennsylvania, these were our neighbors. These are fellow Pennsylvanians.
Coverage of this nationwide bomb scare continues, and we turn now to the climate for these current events. A tense political mood with
the wrong shit.
Coverage of this nationwide bomb scare continues, and we turn now to the climate for these current events. A tense political.
Let's listen to this story, please, without fucking up.
All right, welcome back. I'm Frederica Whitfield in New York. I want to take you straight to Pittsburgh right now for an update on this shooting at a synagogue.
On behalf of everybody in Pennsylvania, these were our neighbors. These are fellow Pennsylvanians, and this is an incredibly sad day. I want to thank the first responders for doing what they have done to make us safe and to respond so quickly, so effectively to this tragedy. And I want to turn it over to Wendell.
Wendell Hesrick, the City of Pittsburgh Public Safety Director. As the mayor mentioned, we've had a tragedy here today. The work of the first responders has probably prevented it from becoming much more tragedy than what it is. The scene is very bad inside. There are multiple fatalities. There are at least 6 injuries, to include 4 police officers. The police officers' injuries at this time are non-life-threatening. The other individuals are critical and serious in nature. They were taken to 3 of the level 1, level 2 trauma centers here in the city of Pittsburgh, that being Allegheny General, UPMC, and UPMC Presby and UPMC Mercy. At this time, I'd like to say that we have established a phone number with the assistance of the FBI for any questions from victims' families. That number is 412-432-4400. Once again, it's 412-432-4400. A Victims Assistance and Reunification Center has been set up at Chatham College on Chatham campus at Berry Hall at 106 Berry Street. We will have grief counselors there as well as the Red Cross. Please allow about a half hour for the final plans on establishment of that center. However, there are individuals working to have it up and running as soon as possible. A further brief press conference will be held at the County Emergency Operations Center at 4 p.m. this afternoon.
Another mass shooting in Pittsburgh.
The elected officials and first responders will
ran into a synagogue and just started shooting motherfuckers up in Pittsburgh. Listening to it now. Hey, Robin.
This is being considered a federal violation, and the primary investigative agency will be the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I would like to personally thank the many.
Yes, a couple days ago, the guy in Kentucky ran up in the Kroger shopping store or grocery store and shot two people, one guy in the store and one lady outside in the parking lot. That was just a few days ago. And now they said just a few hours ago, some guy in Pittsburgh ran up in the synagogue and just started shooting motherfuckers and that shit, just killing people.
First responders that have
running in there saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill all the Jews." Really, dude? There's a fucking problem in this country, yo. It's a problem in this country.
Allegheny County Police and FBI, ATF, and numerous others that I can't even count how many first responders are here that are providing assistance. This will be a lengthy crime scene. We're asking people that don't need to be in this area, please stay away from it. So that both the investigators and first responders can do their job. I will emphasize at this time there appears to be no active threat to the community. This individual that we believe the subject that is responsible for this has been taken in custody. That's all.
This motherfucker has been taken into custody. Bitch, he just ran up in a temple of worship, massacred people, shot police officers, and you were still able to take him into custody? This shit boggles my fucking mind. It boggles my fucking mind. Dylan Roof was taken into custody. The school shooter in fucking Florida was taken into custody. The shooter in Texas was taken into custody. Bomb guy taken into custody. The Kroger shooter taken into custody. This guy's taken into custody. Alive. So they can be questioned and stand before a judge against a jury of their peers. Like the judicial system should rightfully afford everybody the benefit. But for some people, we don't get that benefit. The police officers are our judge, jury, and executioner on the fucking concrete sidewalks and asphalt streets, where motherfuckers like us just get gunned down for really petty shit, for selling cigarettes, choke your life out your body, for selling bootleg CDs, shoot you to death. You know what I'm saying? For reaching for your wallet, they shoot you. For telling the police officer you have a gun and you are licensed to carry a gun and you're going to get your gun and give it to him, and they shoot you dead for that shit. For playing with a toy gun, they shoot you dead for that shit. Just in Florence, South Carolina, the one guy shoots at 7 police officers, killing one of them. Took his ass in alive. There is some way that with all these mass shooting incidents, the gunman is normally apprehended alive unless he takes his own life. But then when officers confront extremely less hostile and less violent people of color, we don't ever get that same kind of treatment. That shit is weird as fuck, yo. Like, yo, Cuzzo, what's up, cousin? It's just I can't understand like how they always get these shooters into custody, knowing they just killed a lot of people. You know, but a black dude with some speeding tickets and a warrant for some weed, if he runs from the cops, they gonna gun his ass the fuck down and kill him and say, oh, I feared for my life. He was like Incredible Hulk, and I felt like a little kid, and I didn't know what to do. So I shot him in the back. Yo, Amber, I'm listening to this shit right now, cousin. Like, yo, right now. This shit is crazy, yo. It's crazy. He's madness.
Yeah.
Can you go over what happened?
You know what I'm saying? And I worry about shit like this because the shooting in Kentucky, one of my homegirls lives right there in that city where it happened. That was her local grocery store where she shops. It could have been somebody I know. I know people who live in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? I have friends and homies in Pittsburgh who, that could have been them. Easily could have been them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, it's just one crazy man with a gun. No, there is a problem, a systemic problem in this culture of these schizophrenic middle-aged white men having psychotic breaks and just wanting to kill everybody. And it's ramping up more and more and more to the fact where we see this shit is almost commonplace, where you know just like once a month, once every couple of months, there's going to be some kind of mass shooting at a school or a church or a country music festival concert in Vegas. Like, there's always going to be something. And the system just creates violence like it's only perpetrated by a certain group of people. And you only ever hear the term black on black violence, black on black violence, black on black violence. But you don't never hear nothing about no niggas doing no shit like this ever. We don't ever do nothing like this. But our whole culture and our whole group is criminalized for our behaviors and bada bada ba and bada bada ba. When you look at the empirical data, we not the most violent people. We just not. There is no way that we can be the most violent people. The most violent people always seem to get off some kind of way though. Somehow they can catch this gunman alive. I never get over how they always catch this gunman alive. Work 10 minutes from where it happened. That's what I be saying, yo. That could have been my homie just on some going to and from work shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit be fucking, I don't know, that shit really does get to me, yo. And I know it sounds, once again, oh, Travis always talks about the same fucking shit all the fucking, because this shit doesn't end. It doesn't end. We're not really getting closer to like solving and coming up with real solutions for the racial issues we have in this country. You know what I'm saying? We're just in few days of each other. We have 2 racially charged, racially motivated homicides, and both of them was more than one. You know, and like I said, in Kentucky, the man killed 2 innocent people, just 2 random victims. In this case, what they said, 5 or 6 people just died. Why they trying to worship their God? You know what I'm saying? They're in their temple of worship and praying, and the motherfucker comes in there and blasts them away. The shit is fucking scary. It's confusing. It's depressing. It's lunacy. It's insanity. That's what I'm saying, but nobody ever wants to like break down what is wrong with white America. Like, what is the problem with the white boys in this country where they keep doing this shit, yo, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's like, dudes, please just stop. Like, white America needs like some kind of intervention for their you know, their boys 18 to 35. There is something really wrong in the culture. Okay, the black families, you know, the dads need to raise their kids more, and the parents need to stay together, and the fathers need to stop selling drugs and stay out of prison. I can agree with all that shit. I agree with all that 100%. There is an ass of work that needs to be done in the black community, the black family unit. All that shit can be better. All of that shit can be tighter, you know, and more coherent and function. That is without a doubt. We understand that. So now, but we need to understand, like, what is the causes of all this shit in the white community. Like, there is something wrong in your culture, in your community, that causes these men to act out in such a radically violent way. And this is a constant thing. It's like a constant, continuous thing. Like, we see this over and over and over, to the point where I can only name like major headline stories where this happened, but there's so many other incidents that get swept under the headlines or come in the headlines and go out so fast that we forget about it because our attention span ain't worth shit anymore. Hate. And that is one of the worst things, that people are still like perpetuating this system and this belief of superiority and segregation and hatred. That's what I'm saying. It's 2018 and motherfuckers still teaching their kids shit like this. You know what I'm saying? And whoever the Kroger shooter was, or whoever the synagogue shooter is, they probably, obviously they got families. They might have kids themselves. And what the fuck are they teaching their kids? And then they go out and commit these fucking heinous acts of violence. That shit is so goddamn frustrating, bro. Frustrating. Swear to God.
The subject that is responsible for this has been taken in custody. That's all I have.
Can you go over what happened?
I don't. That's going to be part of the investigation. On the injuries, we believe 6 injuries, 4 of which are police officers. So it's a total of 6 injuries. I will not discuss that yet until we are sure of the number. I don't want to get into that at this point. There's a lot of information. I'd be very cautious on what you hear and what you don't hear at this time. Like I say, we have numerous investigators here. I would ask that if anyone has any information regarding the investigation, that they also call that 412-432-4400, and that will put you in contact with the FBI.
Wendell, can you tell us what the situation was in there? How many people?
And this dude is 46 years old. He ain't even like no young buck or nothing. He ain't no young buck. You know what I'm saying? This is a middle-aged man. Yo, Koala, what up, guys? And Prescott, yo, Alpha, yo, everybody's in here. All my conscious queens is up in here. All the beautiful women is up in here. Damn. Okay. But yeah, we hey guys. Quayle, I got high school classmates in here, you know what I'm saying? Everybody up here. Yo, talking about this Pittsburgh shooting. Y'all hearing about this? The facts are still developing, information is still coming out right now, but apparently a race warrior ran up in a synagogue in Pittsburgh, opened fire. They're not giving full numbers right now. So far, the chief of police said there is 6 injuries. 4 of them are police officers. So at least 6 people got hurt. 4 of them are cops. There are fatalities. He says he's not going to give out the number of fatalities until he's absolutely sure how many victims there were, or deceased victims there are. But they're saying this dude is synagogue shooting suspect identified as 46-year-old Robert Bowers. Yo, cousin, what's up, Candy? And so his Facebook post said, "I'm going all the way in this time," and he runs up in there screaming, "All Jews must die!" And like I say, and this is right on the back of that Kentucky shooting. This has been a fucked up week, yo. There ain't no other way to say it, bro. This week has been fucked up, yo. It's fucked up. White America showing their true colors. White boys acting up this week, man. Y'all need to cut that shit out, man. For real. And once again, like I keep bringing these same issues up, because the shit don't end. Y'all can talk about all the gang banging in Chicago and Detroit and all the gangs in California, but motherfuckers don't do this shit, bro. We don't do no shit like this. That's what be killing me. Oh, the goddamn Los Vatos and the 36 Boys and the Bloods and the Crips and all these motherfuckers, man, all of them, all the gangbangers in the world don't do no shit like this. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. That shit is gangbanging is a crazy phenomenon and a fucked up situation in itself. But this ain't the same thing, man. Them motherfuckers be beefing with each other over like real issues that they feel they have over turf or drug zones or certain things like that. So they get in conflicts with each other because they are in proximity and are fighting for some of the same resources in the same area. And this is what causes gang violence. And gang violence is actually a product of a much bigger systemic issue. But we already know this. But these just crazy shootings, motherfuckers just go out and kill strangers. Just go out and shoot a bunch of motherfuckers trying to pray like, damn, Abraham and Isaac and motherfucker coming, all Jews must die. Bah, 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 bah. You know what I'm saying? This shit is weird as fuck, yo. Oh damn! If he killed the police, I feel you. But that's the thing though. I'm from South Carolina too now. So the last city I lived in South Carolina was Florence. Just a couple of weeks ago, they had a shootout in Florence where a white man shot 7 police officers and killed one of them. The one cop he killed was a black dude. And like 2 weeks later, they swept that shit under the rug, man. That shit's so quiet, nobody don't even talk about that shit no more. They ain't gonna throw the book at his ass neither. You know what I'm saying? It's weird how this shit works, yo. And that's it. Like I say, they always want to point at gang violence, and then they label it black on black crime, black on black violence. You say it's structured that way. The Germans put the Jews in the ghetto. Like the Jews didn't just live in the ghetto because this is how we want to do it. And it's the same way through gentrification and poor housing practices and everything else, that blacks are forced into these sections of the inner city and different communities where the education is bad, poor food comes into your community, you don't have enough resources and job opportunities, and so gang violence is one option just for fucking survival. You know, and once again, it's like that's a product of a much bigger systemic system. But like you say, these other motherfuckers, they don't want for nothing. They're not starving. They're not hungry. They're not impoverished, living in or below the poverty line, and housing authorities and accepting government fucking handouts and shit. These are affluent, well-to-do people who've had a pretty good life. And this dude was 46 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? You done crest the hill, man. You done live your whole life, bro. At 46, man, your kids is damn near grown. You know what I'm saying? You should be on trying to ride that shit on out. But no, instead you going at 46. You going to shoot up synagogues now. Sparrow from France, what's up, bro? Yeah, redlining or red zoning. Gentrification, all that shit, man. It's how they move shit. So, and then especially when natural disasters come in and fuck parts of the ghetto up, and then the rich land developers come in and buy that shit up and make it. Now niggas can't even afford to live in the ghetto parts they used to live in. They gotta go to the ghetto for real. You know, it's like it's so many different ways that they keep us boxed in and keep us confused about how they have us boxed in. And then when we looking on the outside and everything looks all peaches and cream, that shit don't be like that, man. Like I said, I've been listening to this story just to trying to understand how these motherfuckers always get caught alive. I can't get past that part, bro. They always catch these dudes alive. Oh yeah, and then ain't nobody want to try to. I heard another report that people trying to keep Trump name out of the media as much. And some motherfuckers gonna start pointing fingers at him for a lot of this dumb shit that's going on right around re-election time, just like that bomber. They said supposedly he had a truck full of Trump stickers and all kind of shit, trying to mail bombs to motherfucking Obama. And people, oh my god, yo, I don't get it. I don't get what the fuck is wrong with these motherfuckers, bro. This shit is stupid, bro. Stupid crazy. Hey, that's why I just stay my ass in the house. I stay my ass in the house. And for shit like this, I don't know, like for the past couple years, I and this is a true fact. This is a reality. If I'm out in public, I assume every white man has a gun on him. That's how I think. You know what I'm saying? I just assume all these motherfuckers are armed. And I just assume all of them would easily shoot me if I give them the slightest reason to. Because these motherfuckers is out in full force, bro.
About we're inside.
I don't have that answer. I do not want to give you. My understanding was there was a service occurring.
Yeah, there was a service occurring. Motherfuckers, and they praying to their God and died.
That is correct. However, we are setting up a.
Not trying to bag on religion, but how powerful is your God if you get murdered while you praying to him? Side note, we'll come back to that.
A very hard perimeter around the crime scene, and we ask individuals to stay away from that. So there will be a very secure presence around the crime.
And I think this is some other shit too, yo, cause they thought there was another motherfucker. Facebook. Man, it's Saturday. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all chilling with me right now? Is y'all gonna chill for like 10 more minutes? Come to my YouTube channel. I'm live on YouTube, guys. I'm trying to talk to 2 sets of people at one time. But we got 9 people in here, all the way from France. But I am live on air on YouTube right now. Go to my page, click the link. I think I posted a link for my YouTube channel. Come over to the YouTube channel and chill me for another 10 minutes. But they was something else, yo. They found a motherfucker in Florida. Y'all heard this story? Yo, this dude was from North Dakota. Motherfucker from North Dakota. He drove his ass all the way to fucking Miami. With a truck full of guns. Had a little pocket knife with a swastika on this shit. They found this motherfucker asleep in the alleyway drunk. He done went somewhere and got drunk as fuck and fell asleep in the alleyway. I don't know how I gotta read this shit again, man. Motherfuckers roll up on his ass. The cops roll up on him while he drunk in the goddamn truck with all these motherfucking guns and shit. And bitch, you ain't even from Miami. You from North Dakota. What the fuck you doing down in Florida with all these guns? And then the cops with they bootlicking ass talking about we're gonna have to give you a sobriety test. A sobriety test? Man, lock this motherfucker the fuck up, bro. Lock this bitch ass up. This motherfucker all the way in Florida from North Dakota with an arsenal. Yeah, I posted that story too, man. I think some of this shit been playing, yo, because they said the Kroger shooter tried to go into a church first. He tried to go into a church first before he went to the goddamn grocery store. Now the shit in Pittsburgh, a synagogue is basically a church. You know what I'm saying? And then now this motherfucker in Florida, ain't no telling what the fuck they stop him from going. You know what I'm saying? There's some crazy ass shit going on, man. Yo, Facebook family, I appreciate y'all chilling in here with me while I just rant about the sad ass news. You know what I'm saying? It's been like day after day of this shit, yo. So I don't know. I've been on a rant for a few days. Apologize, but the debates are good, the conversations are good. I'm getting a lot more information from you guys as well. But if you are just going to chill, even if it's another 5 or 10 minutes, go to the link on my page and come check us out on YouTube. We'll be on YouTube live for another couple hours. Probably wrap up this debate and conversation we're having now, and then I'll jump back on this piece that I'm currently working on, the Skull Smoke. And so we just gonna chill, relax, have some fun, art and education. Thanks everybody. Peace. Till next time. Alfie. Ooh. My homie is in here. But a motherfucking fantastic artist, y'all. Y'all want to see another motherfucking master artist, yo? My homegirl, Afi. Yo, her shit is hot. Y'all think I got black art? y'all ain't even seen shit yet. Y'all tell me, oh, Travis, why you only painting black people? Your art is too black. It's just black. Nah. I'm getting a message for somebody I don't even know. Yes, respect to you too, Queen. Yes, ma'am. I sure appreciate it. Oh, I gotta check my numbers too. Yo, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. When we hit 1,000, somebody's gonna get a free painting. I'm going to give away a free oil painting. So continue to spread the word. Try to get more people in here. We're really close. The last time I checked, we were right at like 970 people. So we're gonna hit that number soon, and somebody will be receiving an original piece of art from Travis Prince. And this is something else too. After, give me your own personal opinion. Does the YouTube look better than the live streams, like the Instagram streams or the Facebook streams? That's why I try to go on those streams and then pull everybody over to here, because I think it just looks better here. I think the sound quality is a little bit better. But yeah, we're gonna finish this. Let's finish listening to it. This is Wendell Hissrich, Hissrich. Wendell Hissrich, Pittsburgh Public Safety Director, is the one giving out this information. This came from Pittsburgh at 1:18 p.m. About almost 4 hours ago. So this is some really, really new shit, yo. And I live in Pennsylvania. I'm on the opposite side of the state. For me to travel to Pittsburgh in a vehicle, it'd probably take a little bit more than 5 hours. Pennsylvania is a really big state, so it's nowhere near me. It's nearer to me than California. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that fact that it's like it's in this state, like, you know what I'm saying, that. And I would almost consider that white on white crime, because Jews are white. Like, I don't care what nobody say, man. Okay. They're Semites, so you can't be anti-Semite, and Semite means semi or half or two sides, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they're really a mixed people. But if you take a bunch of Jews and a bunch of Mexicans and put them in a room together and say pick out the white people, you're not going to point at the Mexicans. You just not. But for some reason, like, this whole battle, like, it's been taking me a few years to realize how bad, like, white people hate Jews. And, like, they're white. They're just like, they're white. It's not Jewish. Jewish isn't a race. It's not even a race. It's a religion. And then this motherfucker run up in the synagogue. I want to find a picture of this dude, yo. I be wanting to see what these motherfuckers look like. Like that Kroger shooter. This motherfucker looked. I'm not gonna describe his looks, but you know what I'm saying. Wendell Hissrich, Pittsburgh's Public Safety Director.
Protect the integrity of the investigation.
The person taken into custody, did you get weapons recovered off this person?
I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that. Right now, what we have is one subject in custody from the scene. Whether or not, as all these investigations, we have to look into every imaginable fact to find out if there is anyone else that's been involved in it.
Is there any evidence of a bomb?
I'm sorry?
Is there any evidence of a bomb?
There is not. Explosive ordnance disposal teams went through the scene, like, and there is no evidence of any IEDs or any further threat.
That's what they say, though. All the motherfucking major movie companies, not any subsidiaries, but like the major companies in Hollywood, are like Jewish owned. Most of the news media is Jewish owned. What's the motherfucker one name? Ted something, yo. That motherfucker a Jew. That motherfucker owned basically all the news papers and news channels and shit. Yo, big homie. Yo, what's up, Smoke? What up, guys? Yo, chilling in the studio, art and education. I mean, I want to say it's like bad news, but it's just news. We hear this shit all the time, and it is fucked up. Like, I wish there was better shit to report on, better shit that we could talk about. But like for the past couple of days, I've just been talking about these mass shootings again, bro. Like, I took a nap. I woke up. Okay, what we stream about this morning? We talked a little bit about that shit, but I had a good stream this morning. You know, did some chores. I took a nap because I'm getting old, so I like to rest. I like to rest in the afternoon, keep my skin looking useful. I see what the old heads talk about, that beauty sleep, boy. That shit works, son. So I wake up from my nap, and I use social media as a tool because, you know, people like Affy, yo, that's how I get all my news, really. If you're on my social media, you got to be smart and creative, or at least one of the two. You know what I'm saying? And so I wake up from my little beauty rest, and I just check social media. The first thing I see, woo, motherfucker shooting in Pittsburgh. I'm like, God damn, boy, motherfucker can't go one day, bro. I was gonna talk about some other shit, man. I don't know what. It would have been something different. Shit, I can't even make it through the whole day without these motherfuckers acting up. Actually, she called police on white people awesome. Hello? I think they got some raisins in their potato salad. Y'all need to come look at this. These motherfuckers is acting crazy, bro. Hemi Jet, that's what's up, man. Vote Republican. I wish I could, man. I wish I could. I don't vote for nothing. George Carlin's skit, Why I Don't Vote. Check that out. George Carlin, Why I Don't Vote. I live by that shit too. I live by that same creed. We got 2 more minutes of this guy.
The moment there, you sounded very emotional. Hand was placed on your shoulder. Tell me how you feel right now.
It's a very horrific crime scene. It's one of the worst that I've seen, and I've been on some plane crashes. It's very bad.
It's very bad. He's been at a plane crash, and this dude said this shit looked worse than a plane crash.
Like I say, there's a very active investigation going on right now.
How do you identify them?
I'm sorry? You will hear from myself, the SAC, Special Agent in charge of the FBI, the U.S. Attorney, as well as the elected officials.
A lot of moving parts today. What's the next step here?
The next step is secure the crime scene. The FBI has both assets from Western Pennsylvania and from D.C. en route here, so they will be running the investigation and the crime scene with the support of both the Allegheny County Police and the City of Pittsburgh Police.
Did the shooter actually attend the synagogue?
I have no idea. I'd like to also mention the state police. They've been instrumental in helping us out as well.
This is clear. Is it 6 people or at least 6?
As far as the injuries, right now we're at 6 injuries.
Did you identify the gunman?
It's an active investigation. I mean, obviously we know who the gunman is, but I'm not going to bring that up now.
Why are the police conducting the investigation?
As I mentioned before, this falls under a hate crime, being it's a Jewish synagogue, so it will be basically a federal investigation with the assistance of the locals, county, and state police.
It's a terrorist attack. Just say he's a terrorist.
The shooter was taken to the hospital.
The shooter was taken to the hospital? Oh my God.
Thank you very much.
Let that motherfucker bleed out in the mud, man. Damn it, America. You know what I'm saying? They shoot the black man in the back and handcuff his ass, and then they talk amongst each other first to see who's gonna call the ambulance. Why they pretend to get CPR, but they took this motherfucker straight to the damn hospital. Son of a bitch. Come on, America. Y'all got to do better than that. And that's like I said, out of all the situations, it's like how these motherfuckers stay alive. Oh, how is you still alive? Huh? How is you still alive, man? Shoot that motherfucker on the scene like you do everybody else. Kill these motherfuckers, man. Nope. The motherfucker get to go to court. they get fingerprinted and all kind of shit. Come on, man. What about Sandra Bland? Y'all remember that shit? They say she hung herself in a cell with a trash bag. Get the fuck out of here, man. Oh, she hung herself with a trash bag. Really? For real? Man, y'all motherfuckers lying. y'all be killing these people, man. They be straight up murdering these people. It's terrorists. He ran in a holy place of worship and said, all the Jews must die. And then just last year in Canada, the same thing. Even President Justin Trudeau had to talk about that situation up there. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, that shit's crazy. Killed 9 fucking Muslims at a mosque. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker run up in there, killed 9 Muslims at a mosque in Canada. And then once again, that Kroger shooter tried to get into a church first. What is it with like trying to kill these people in a place of worship, yo? It's sick, man. It's sadistic. It's. I can't, man. I gotta read the dictionary so I can come up with some more negative words, man. It's just like, bruh, I'm running out. My vocabulary ain't even strong enough to express how loathsome this shit is, yo. Just some other stuff I'm working on because I know it's on my easel right now. It doesn't look like normally the shit that's on my easel. It is something much different. But I am working on 2 more installments of the Reader series. They said they're supposed to have another update at 4 o'clock. That was a little while ago, so I watched the older video.
Are extremity injuries, but he also is doing well. So that's good news on those. Clearly, the 61-year-old female who was injured extremity, but those are soft tissues.
11 people killed, 6 hurt, no children among the victims.
Clearly, the biggest concerns, the 70-year-old man.
70-year-old
police officer who was shot multiple times. We'll have to wait as the hours and the days go by to just see how devastating those wounds were and keep them in thoughts and prayers, of course.
11 people killed, 6 hurt.
Police at this point have, and let me just tell you, from behind me, you would think it was a normal day at Presbyterian Hospital. Pretty much everything is cleared out. There are a couple of police cars around, but that's a normal at Presby Hospital any time of the day or night. Certainly a much quieter scene here. The good work and the efforts to minimize and mitigate the
11 people, yo. That's fucking crazy, dude. 11 people, yo. Wow. Wow. – 11 people died, yo. What am I saying, man? Man, black and Spanish people can do all the gang banging from now until the end of time. We won't never catch up with with the violence and killings and deaths and murders of the white man, yo. Like, we won't never catch up, yo. They too good. They too good at this shit. I wonder what kind of gun he used. 11 people, and he hit up like 4 cops. They still talking.
For 6:30 at the corner of Murray and Forbes, which would be sort of the center of the Squirrel Hill Business District. But right now, I'm with the longtime state representative from this district in Squirrel Hill, Dan Frankel, who is very much tied into this community, very much part of this community, and it's a devastating day.
A horrific day, an incredibly sad day for Pittsburgh and for Pittsburgh's Jewish community, and it's just hard to imagine that this could happen in our community. But what we've seen happen across this country are these acts of hate that have been enabled by this deterioration in civil discourse and making legitimate hate speech that basically, creates environments where something like this can happen. So it's a time for this community to come together, to be with the victims and the families of the victims this evening at the vigil, to extend our condolences and to hopefully move forward and saying that we are not going to tolerate this sort of thing. We need to live in a community, and we do live in a community that embraces diversity and tolerance. And then you have...
Hi, everyone. I'm Rena Ninen. Thank you for joining us. We now know 11 people were killed when a gunman opened fire at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Saturday morning. 6 others were hurt. The gunman reportedly yelled, "All Jews must die," as he opened fire. When police arrived, he shot 2 officers before retreating into the office of a rabbi. 2 more SWAT officers were shot before he surrendered. The suspect has been identified as 48-year-old Robert Bowers. He has a long history of anti-Semitic and anti-immigrant posts on social media. Officials say that the attack will be investigated as a hate crime. Here's FBI's special agent in charge, Bob Jones.
This is the most horrific crime scene I've seen in 20 years.
And it's like,
Members of the Tree of Life Synagogue.
Do all black people look violent? Of course not. No, we don't. But to some people, we do. You know what I'm saying? But does that look like a violent man? Motherfucker look like a goddamn... like he drive a motherfucking Pepsi truck or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker look like he work at Jiffy Lube, just a regular dude. But what he do? What, shot fucking 17 people? Killed 11 of them? Exactly. Like, what does it prove? That they're superior, man. That they're the best. This is my man Butch Lockson. Locsin. Lockson. Butch Lockson from LA. If you go to his Instagram page and check his shit out, his shit is fucking amazing, bro. So I asked him if, I'm a really big fan of his performance art and his photography. So I asked him if I can paint a little series of his stuff, and he was like, "Sure, go ahead." And so he said I can pick 3 pieces. And so these are the 3 photographs of his that I selected and that I'll be interpreting into oil paintings. So this is not my original photography at all. I did not take these pictures. Butch and his team of photographers set these shots up. And if you want, once again, if you want to check him out, go to his Instagram page, Butch Lockson from LA, and go through his whole catalog, All his shit is fucking super dope, This dude is on some other shit. For real. just everything, the skulls, how he designs his skulls, the colors, his outfits, you know, the vest, the ties, the jewelry he wears. He always has these big crazy skull rings on, you know, the spiffy shoes. Like, his whole outfits be just bomb as shit, yo. And then all the colorful smoke performances, like, this shit is dope. I don't know, since I've seen it, I've always tried to figure out why I'm so attracted to these images, and I really can't place it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like dark, but not really. He makes this skull character look menacing, but maybe somebody you still kind of want to hang out with. Like, I don't know. It's just fucking weird as shit, yo. It's hard to really explain, like, why I like this character he's made so much. This skull dude with the smoke, but it's hot and I like it. Some shit don't really need like too much explanation. I just like the shit. So this is I am currently working on some photos that I took myself. My photography looks like this. So this is the latest installment of my reader series. The focal point of this piece is Michelle Alexander's very, very informative book, The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness. I would advise everybody to pick up a copy and just read this book. It's like having a criminal justice degree. I'm telling you. And there is some other literature on there. Sacred Woman, the Black Knights, the Tuskegee Airmen, racism in America, and the history of slave owners in the South. So this piece right here has a lot of information in it, and it has so many contrasting elements and textures. So you have the paper and the slick sheen of the books, the wood grain and shadows on the table, the beautiful skin tone of the female, the hair, the bricks. Then you have glass, and then you can see like different objects beyond the glass. There's reflections on the glass, and there's bright spots of sunlight. And so this piece is really dynamic, and it's been really testing me. But I've had a lot of fun working on this piece, but it's too wet. So actually this is my main project right now, but I've gotten to a point where I have to let my paints dry a little bit before I apply another layer to it. And so while this piece is taking a break for a while, I'll just go ahead and start working on this canvas here, maybe get a layer of paint on the blue smoke canvas, and then go back to that piece and try to wrap that one up and get it completed, and then come back to finish this series out. And as you can see, all three canvases already have an underpainting on it. It's the first layer, like a foundation layer. So I always prep a few canvases at a time so that I don't have to wait. If one canvas is too wet, I can just go to this canvas, because that first layer of paint is completely dry. And if two canvases are too wet to work on, then I can go to that canvas. And if that canvas too wet to work on, yes, I have still yet another canvas to work on. Idle hands are the devil's playground. And then when I'm done with all these, I got some more shit I can do. Already got like another 2 or 3 images just waiting. That's all, it's just waiting. I already talked to a photographer out of North Carolina, said I could use some of his stuff. He got some hot shit too. And I'm working with Creative Soul Photography from Atlanta. I have one more photo of theirs that I'm gonna do. This is Creative Soul Photography. This is their work. their photography work, and they allowed me to paint some of their pictures. The Big Afro, that's also Creative Soul Photography. And so they said I can do 3, and I have 2 of them done right now. And so I still have 1 more of their pieces I can do, which are, oh, their shit is hot. It don't even matter what I get from them, yo, that shit just get hot. Come on, camera, stop playing. I got company. But and then I recently took a trip home to South Carolina, and I have some pictures of a couple of my little cousins. I think I might paint those. I like painting people in my family. So I got those to work on, and I'm always asking for new models, and so there is I met one really pretty girl a couple days ago who said she actually wants to model, and she sounded excited and enthusiastic about it, even though it's starting to get cold. So I probably have to do more like indoor shoots now, which is it's not bad as long as you have the proper lighting set up and stuff. So always got shit popping off. Always got to stay busy, stay busy, stay busy. Smoke, man. I don't know what this shit is coming to, bruh. Seems like it's coming to a fucking dead end. It's coming to a dead end, man.
Conducting a peaceful service in their place of worship were brutally murdered by a gunman targeting them simply because of their faith. The suspect's full motive is unknown.
Simply because of their faith? And that's the thing. Is, you know, is Jewish a race or a faith? Because some people say it's a race. Some people say it's only a faith. But then when they target black people, like, who said it? Malcolm X, when he was trying to talk to goddamn Dr. King, he was like, look, man, they don't hate us because you a Christian and they Baptist and we Muslims. They don't hate us because of that shit. They hate us because we black. You know what I'm saying? And you talk about now this dude shot them because of their faith. But I think the race warriors look at Jews as a race of people and not just as a religion. And it's weird. That whole paradigm is weird in itself.
But we believe he was acting alone.
As these events unfolded, loved ones and those inside the temple began to gather. Michael Eisenberg is a former president of the Tree of Life Synagogue.
No, we've never had any threats. I will tell you, I've always had a very watchful eye because of what's going on in the current climate. You know, you see these bombs being mailed across the country. And our security was really just that nobody's ever tried. You know, it was just the fact that nobody ever tried to do anything because, you know, like most religious institutions, we have an open door.
President Trump has also weighed in. He said the mass shooting has done little to do with guns, suggesting that he should stiffen the death penalty laws instead. He also talked about anti-Semitism at a Future Farmers event in Indiana.
Our nation and the world are shocked and stunned by the grief.
Like his voice.
This was an anti-Semitic act. You wouldn't think this would be possible in this day and age. But we just don't seem to learn from the past.
CBS News radio correspondent Bill Rakoff is on the phone and joins us now. Bill, what can you tell us?
So the press conference was rather thorough in that we found out that the suspect, Robert Bowers, 48 years old, from the South Hills of Pittsburgh, just outside the city limits, accused of walking into the Tree of Life Synagogue just before 10 this morning. What really stood out to me was the response time, Rena, of the first responders. The fact that Pittsburgh police got the call about a minute after he was supposed to have walked into the synagogue. Once the officers had the call, they were there on the scene within a minute. They engaged him. 2 Pittsburgh police officers were shot. And then later, as the SWAT team was moving in on him, 2 more SWAT officers were also shot, all of them believed to be stable. But from the head of the FBI to the U.S. Attorney to the Pittsburgh Police Chief himself, they're saying, look, if it hadn't been for that quick response, things could have been much, much worse inside the synagogue today.
Do we know if this suspect is talking, Bill?
We do not know. That pointed question was asked of the U.S. Attorney, Scott Brady, and he said he would not comment one way or the other. He would say that Bowers had been shot. They believed he was shot by a police officer, but didn't have 100% confirmation. He was taken to a local trauma center where he was described in fair condition. So one surmises that he would be able to talk to investigators. But again, the U.S. Attorney would not tell us one way or the other if he is. I don't think they want to let anything out of the bag this early on in the investigation.
I understand that, Bill. And what about the weapons that were used? What do we know?
So I asked that question, and we were told that he took an assault weapon, an assault rifle, along with 3 handguns. But when I pressed to say, did he use all 4 of the handguns, they weren't willing to tell us, whether or not, all 4 of them were used, just one of them. So we don't even know at this point, if he used the assault rifle or not, although there are a number of reports that describe him using it inside the synagogue. So he was very well armed. Which suggests that perhaps he probably had planned this out for quite some time. As we've been noting all afternoon, Rena, he had quite the social media presence there, but officials would not comment on that yet, saying it's just too early in the investigation. But he did say they would work day and night, and the U.S. Attorney promised that justice for Bowers would be, in his words, swift and severe.
Swift and severe. We know this area, Squirrel Hill, is a huge sanctuary for the Jewish community in the Pittsburgh area. What's the mood on the ground there, Bill? And are they concerned? Should other synagogues be worried?
We did ask that question. Authorities were quick to say they didn't think that there was any, direct threat from what happened today anywhere else, but Pittsburgh officers, as well as officers around the country, out of what they call the abundance of caution, are increasing police presence around houses of worship, and not just Jewish houses of worship, but others as well. Here in Pittsburgh, people were told to go out and go do their thing. In fact, I'm sitting here in the neighborhood just a couple of blocks away, and people are walking the streets, even in the rain, walking their dogs. But it is a somber mood here in this very, very tight-knit community.
Yeah, we just incredible, the community, and we are hearing that there will be a 6:30 vigil there tonight. Bill Rakoff, I want to thank you.
We've just passed the 1-year anniversary of the horrific Las Vegas shooting.
Connected to iPhone and Galaxy Tab A2016.
Transpired during that tragic night. One America's Jack Posobiec sits down with a former CIA officer to talk about that investigation.
We're here with Brad Johnson, Americans for Intelligence Reform. Thank you so much for coming back on. One of the last times we had you on, we did our big 30-minute Las Vegas special, and we're doing an update today. More information. We've got the full report. You've been going through it. You've done some more of your own looking into this, your own analysis. What have you got for us, and thanks for coming back.
Jack, so nice to see you again, and great to be here. Yes, we're just on the heels of the 1-year anniversary of the shooting in Las Vegas, the mass shooting in Las Vegas, and also the final police report has come out. And there's a number of interesting things in there that have been sort of glossed over that are worth bringing to everyone's attention. One of them is within the body of the reports that the police collected, that law enforcement collected during this, was a report by a young lady who is a DHS, TSA employee, so Department of Homeland Security, TSA, which are the folks at the airport. So she's got training that is clearly apparent in her report. Now, I've reached out to the young lady that did this, and she's asked me not to use her name, so I will not. But she was, as you noticed, a trained federal employee who happened to be there and observed something very interesting. In the official police report, the final report that just came out, they stated that no evidence exists to indicate Paddock conspired with or acted in collusion with anyone else. Right. No evidence exists. That's their claim. Now, at 9:20 p.m., this is when this TSA woman observed this to take place. She gives a very nicely detailed report. She describes 2 women at the back of the concert. The two women are standing on top of the bale of hay, and where they have a good vantage point to look down on the backs of the crowd facing towards the performer. The first woman says, "Those stupid effing white people, they are going to know how it feels. They deserve this. Wait until later." And this is about a half hour before the shooting begins. The second woman, "Woohoo! Like shooting fish in a barrel. Are you getting this, baby? I love you." Now, the woman that says, "Are you getting this, baby?" is standing with her phone, live streaming from the back of the concert what's going on. Now, while that is not conclusive proof, it's decidedly suspicious and has not been followed up on. Now, a couple of other things that came out of that, and one of them I want to go to next since we're kind of on the timeline issue. So this takes place at 21:20, 9:20 p.m., and now during that period, there's no information as to what Stephen Paddock, the shooter, was doing in that room. Now, he was already located in the room from where the shooting took place at 32135 and 32134, the two rooms that he used.
And he's building up his barricades now in these rooms.
Correct. He's clearly in the final stages of preparing to start shooting. So at 21:36, so at 9:36, which is, 16 minutes or so after this bale of hay incident, he throws the deadbolt. Now, this is all kept track of by the hotel, so they see when rooms are accessed and when the deadbolt is thrown on their in-house computer system.
They've got the door access security program.
Exactly right. So at 21:36, he throws the deadbolt to 32135. Now, this is very important. 10 minutes go by. In the middle of those 10 minutes, the concert begins. Now, as we've discussed before, these were connecting rooms. 32135 and 32134 were connecting with an interior door. So the 135 door was not opened. Precisely 10 minutes later, the deadbolt was thrown to 134. So that's from the inside. So that is absolute conclusive proof with no doubt whatsoever, because 32135 was not opened again, that interior door was used to throw the deadbolt on 134, or there was a second person in there to do it. There is no other way. So that interior door, fast forward a half hour or so after the shooting, Paddock's dead. The police breach the door to 32135, find Paddock's dead body. They themselves, the police, could not get into 134. They tried to kick through the door, couldn't do it, and had to breach the door so that they could enter 134. That deadbolt on the passage door between the two rooms was deadbolted from the 134 side. Now, we know that prior to the shooting, that door either had to be opened so that Paddock could go through and lock the 134 door to the hallway, or somebody else was in that room. It has to be one of the two. There's no other way. That has to be investigated and followed up on. Now, in that room, too, another interesting point out of all of that.
But you can see what time. But you can see what time someone else exited the room. So if he has two rooms that are joined by a middle door, he comes in one room, he locks this door. Okay, that door is locked. They say at a certain time in that evening, he leaves from out of this room, goes through the adjoining door, and locks this door. So now both entry doors are locked. And then they're saying the middle door was locked, but he was on the side of the door where the lock was in that with his dead body. So they come in the room, there's 3 locked doors, and one lock is to him, and he's locked in the room, and the other 2 locks are in the other room. Okay, yeah, then in that incident, someone would have to be in that second room to lock that transition door. But couldn't they see what time someone left out of the room? If you can tell what time that middle door was locked and what time the hall doors were locked, you can see what time the doors was fucking open, can't you? Or what time the lock was disengaged and somebody had to leave out the room. The cops couldn't get into one room. You know, they found his dead body in a room. They couldn't get in the other room. They had to breach the door to get in the other room, which means somebody had to be in there. Well, did they find somebody in there or not? Or did the person leave? Because you should be able to read the lock system for that shit too. It's weird. It's like he's making it seem like it's a ghost person. No, somebody was in there. obviously, if the door was locked from the inside, and he's on the other side of the locked door.
2 computers were found. One of those computers had the hard drive missing. That was removed from it. Well, why would you bring a laptop to the room to do a shooting that already had that hard drive removed? That doesn't make sense. So it's logical that was removed at the time and somebody took it away. It's hard to prove things like that, but
that's where he kept all his child pornography at.
It's an interesting little side aspect.
Well, if he knew that he was going to conduct the attack, then obviously he was willing to give himself up. So why try to protect himself if he knew he was doing that?
Exactly. It just makes no sense for this to have played out that way. So there's a lot of questions. I mean, to make the statement in the police report that there's no evidence is a falsehood. There's clearly evidence, and the evidence wasn't followed up on. And let me come back to one other point that we've discussed previously, and that's Brian Hodges, the Australian that in the several hours following the mass shooting claimed to have been in room 32134.
And this is via multiple social media posts that were made. Then following up on that, because of those posts, he was interviewed numerous times on mostly Australian media, and during those interviews claimed that he was in that room.
Correct.
That had been his room.
Radio and television interviews that he later did that were in Australia. Now, an interesting point out of all that, he claims to have been in room 32134. In room 32134 were another pair of gloves found. These were initially reported in the initial police report, but were not reported on. That's been dropped out of the final police report. Now, interesting aspect. Now, Paddock himself, when his body was found, had gloves on. So what were those second pair of gloves doing? And they weren't brand new gloves unused that are like smashed down from packing. These are gloves that had hands in them and then were dropped on the bed in room 32134. So interesting, but certainly evidence of a second person being there. I don't see how you describe that as any other way than evidence. Is it conclusive? No. But you start stacking these things up, and there's a lot of questions that are not answered as to this mass shooting, with 58 dead people and over 800 wounded, according to the final police report.
Still the largest mass shooting in American history.
Ever.
And obviously the families of all those who lost loved ones in this want some kind of closure.
The shooting at Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the burning of the buildings in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that was in America, and more people died than 50-something people. There was a mass shooting in a small county in Virginia somewhere in the fucking late 1800s, where these motherfuckers damn near killed a whole town of black people, way more than 50-something people. I hate when they just like drop out old history like that shit. This is the worst mass shooting ever in America. No, it's not. It's not true.
I want some answers, and this report isn't giving them very much.
It is not giving them what they need. This closure cannot take place until all of these things you and I are talking about are run down. Another final area out of all of this that's kind of interesting on this is how the police source some of the information. It's come out that they cannot identify a motive, and that they don't think it's political. But two things I want to say about that. One, Paddock started buying all these guns that he used in the shooting when Trump was elected, and over the 8 months or so put all of this arsenal together, which he used during the shooting. An interesting quirk of timing that is not given any significance. And the concert itself, too, was widely regarded as a country. It was a country western concert that was widely regarded as being full of Trump supporters. Whether that's true or not doesn't matter. It was still regarded that way, and very reasonable for Paddock to have regarded it that way as well. So the source that says that Stephen Paddock was not political is his girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley. That's the source. Now, the police referenced his family members, but all of them had been estranged from him mostly for more than a decade, so they didn't know, and said in their reports they didn't know. So the source of the information saying he was non-political was only Mary Lou Danley, who was widely believed to be the more radical leftist of the two. Now, another very interesting point about Mary Lou Danley. We've talked about Brian Hodges and how he claimed to be in the room, the shooter's room, 32134. He was at least on that floor as a guest in his own right and was supposed to have been checked into 32129, which 32 designates floor, 1 indicates the hallway, and then his room is 29, and it was 34 and 35. So he was very near where the shooting took place. Why would he have not been questioned just anyway? But he was not, having been somebody supposedly on that floor, and then later to have claimed to have been in the room. So Brian Hodges is Australian. Brian Hodges claimed in his own information talking about himself, he claimed at one time to have worked in a casino called the Star Casino, Star Gold Coast Casino, which is located at Gold Coast in Australia. Now, very interesting, Mary Lou Danley, who's been widely reported to have also been a dealer at the casino, also said about herself that she previously worked in the Star Gold Coast Casino. Now, I dutifully looked up the Star Gold Coast Casino, and it's in an area of Australia called Gold Coast, and there's precisely one casino there, and that's the Star Casino. There are other casinos a half hour away and things like that, but that's the only casino in that location. Now, for Brian Hodges and Mary Lou Danley, who both claim to have worked there in the same period of time, they would have known each other. It's a small family of dealers that are there, and they all know each other from their shifts and so on. It would have been very difficult for them not to have at least known each other by sight, at the very minimum. And then later, interesting, Brian Hodges shows up where Mary Lou Danley is then now dating Stephen Paddock. So that's never been investigated either. How can, even to this day, we be at this situation where Brian Hodges has not been questioned by authorities? How can that be? There's just too many links to the shooting for him not to be questioned.
Brad, thank you so much for coming in today. Thank you so much for giving us this sort of one-year update as far as the anniversary goes. And I certainly appreciate it. The network appreciates it. And I'm hopefully that as we drive towards the truth on this, it'll lead to closure for those that were affected by this horrific tragedy.
I pray that takes place. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brad.
Want to see more videos like this?
A year later, some now they about to blame some Australian dude. This Australian guy, he worked at the same casino. Blaming this motherfucker too. Good day, mate. Bring your ass back to the States.
Endless shrimp at Red Lobster is just...
Dilly, what up? Did no mail bombs work? Dude just ain't know what he was doing, man. Motherfucker ain't know what he was doing, man.
Music on the track.
Motherfucking Texas know what he was doing though. That Texas bomber, he was blowing people up.
When redesigning the Honda Pilot, we thought, why not make it adventurous? Okay,
why
maybe
not
not that
skip
adventurous.
this commercial? Force me to pay for your fucking commercial-free service, right? Yay! What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Oh, this shit right here is gonna be super stupid, super duper stupid, bro. This is gonna be some real good shit right here, son. It's a nice ass collaboration between me and my man's Butch Loxon. You know what I'm saying? This shit is fucking crazy. I just had to paint some of this shit, yo. I love these images so much. Sure.
This is the greatest moment of my life.
The redesigned Pilot, with room for up to 8. From Honda.
If y'all want this beat list, it is on my YouTube channel. All you gotta do is go to the YouTube channel and go to playlists, and there's a playlist that says beats, and this is what I'm listening to. Hand select the beats that I put together on there.
Mistakes happen, but we've got your back. Now, customers with direct
All these
deposit can benefit
commercials
from over.
is a mistake, man. That's a major mistake, highlights and shit, that shit gonna be looking crazy, son. nice.
Purchase your tracks today.
What's up, guys? Yeah, that skull's starting to stick out now, right? That shit looking good now, right? Yeah. Gotta give that shit like that. I gotta give that shit. Appreciate your presence. I gotta give that shit. Really thank you for your presence. Gotta give that shit like that. That shit gonna be hot, son. Ow. Right here is this.
Purchase your tracks today.
That's not the magician dude who fucking does the tricks with all the masks and stuff. This is my homie Butch. Oh. I am getting hungry. And I cooked 2 steaks last night and I only ate 1. I mean, I ain't got to do shit but go downstairs and heat me up a big ass slab of red meat. Heart congestion. I really want to jump into that blue so bad, like I'm ready. Like I can start it. I still got a lot of orange. I got a lot of this stuff on my palette, but I'll just save that. But I really could just start on that blue. I'm fucking hungry though. Should I go eat, guys? I might take a break and go eat and play some video games. I'll stream my video games if y'all want to watch that, yo. I got that Red Dead Redemption 2. Man, I've been streaming that shit for a couple hours. It's like I'll be in the studio for 2 hours, then I go play the game for 2 hours. I come in the studio for 2 hours, then I take a nap, and then I eat something. Then I play the game for 2 hours, then I come back. And it's like kind of like that, yo. Sell this picture? Will I sell it? Yeah, I'll sell it. If someone wants to buy it, my shit ain't extremely expensive, but it's not really cheap either. Like, you know, my shit is kind of mid-range prices. So if somebody wants to buy it, hells yeah, have at it. But oh, the price on this, I'm not sure yet. It's not even done. It's not even halfway done. You know, I might do them for like $2 grand a piece, because it's gonna be a series of, it's 3 paintings, and so I might do them for like $2 grand a piece, or $5 grand for the whole set, or like $5,500 for the. I might do like $5,500 for all 3, or you can get them for like $2,000 a piece for the originals. But we shall see. This painting is pretty hot though, ain't it? You can already see how good this shit gonna be, yo. Alright guys, I was just, yeah, $2,000, yeah, $2,000. Yeah, most of my paintings are more than $1,000. If you get a commission, I do commissions starting at $400, and then depending on how many details in it and how much I have to up the price, you can normally get a painting from me for about $600 or $700 plus shipping. But that's only for commissions when you already have a photograph you want me to paint for you. But if you want a painting that I wanted to do, something that I came up with, you know what I'm saying, then I have to charge you a lot more for those. So all of my artwork is like $2,000, $3,000, $6,000, $10,000. Like I want $10,000 for that painting. If you're fucking serious, dead ass. No, for real. Like somebody have to give me $10,000 to get that shit out my hands. I'm not fucking lying. Well, that's gallery price. If I hang it in a gallery, it's $10,000 in the gallery. If you want to buy it directly from me, like a personal sale, I'll sell it to you for $8,000. Like, yeah, I don't play with my own art. Like, I can't sell myself short because I put so many hours into my shit, bro. I put a lot of hours into my work. Even for that piece right there, you're gonna have to give me like $2,800 for that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? If you really want this shit, you're gonna have to give me like $5,500 for that shit. And this is an older piece. I've had this piece for a couple years. But my shit is too detailed, and it takes too long for me to. I put too much time and effort into my pieces. Yeah, so what you're seeing with this skull, this is like some simple shit. This is like a really simple painting. But yeah, my pieces are not, like I say, they're not really expensive, but they're not really cheap either. You know? Cuz I've been to like New York galleries, and some artists I follow who I admire their work, I've seen their prices for their art. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers price their shit at $31,000, $27,000 for some shit that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? My shit is just as good as their shit. It's just that I don't have the big galleries backing me yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't have, you know, that marketing force behind me telling the art community that my shit is as valuable as the next man. You know, so I can sell my shit for 32,000 grand for one piece. I seen this shit sell like that, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like if I'm just asking like 5 or 10 grand for my shit, motherfuckers should be happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I done seen other art that's, my shit is just as good. You know what I'm saying? I know that shit for a fact. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I practice. I stay my ass in this fucking studio. I'm constantly trying to come up with new concepts, new ideas, trying to perfect my craft, yo. And I put hours and hours and hours into my art just like anybody else, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird how some people hesitate giving me $2,000 for this, but then go give the next man motherfucking $30,000 for one of his paintings, and it's like, yo, my shit is just as good as that, you know? So shit. Yeah, my shit is totally legit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I ask for a couple grand, you're gonna get museum quality shit, dude. This ain't no, I don't do no bullshit ass paintings. Like if you get a painting from me, this shit is gonna be fucking legit, son. Like all my shit is Yo, that shit's super wet, boy. I'm telling you. Who, this one? Oh, the one on the wall? That's how it's hanging, where that light, how that light hitting it. Goddamn. I gotta go eat, man. I would eat in the studio. Y'all know y'all know I don't mind eating on camera. I got steak, man. I gotta have a knife and a fork. I need to sit at a table to do that shit, man, so I can eat that shit. I can't last no more. I tried to make it past the 2-hour mark. Y'all know what I'm saying. So I wasn't here we talked for about an hour, painted for about an hour. Earlier today in the first stream, I did the darker half of the skull, which is basically in the shadow. So I did a lot of the deep reds this morning. And this stream, when I started, I wanted to do the lighter reds and the oranges on this side of the skull and pull the brow of the skull and the ridge of the nose bone right here and kind of pull that down. So now the skull itself has 2 layers of paint. I just applied the second layer of paint. The skull is totally wet, but the blue is set and ready to go. So the next time I come in here, we'll load up the palette with a few different blues, maybe 2 or 3 different blues, and start adding some detail and pulling this smoke out and seeing the plumes of smoke as they curl over each other. And that's going to be fun. I like doing smoke. It's just a fun thing to paint. Because there is no form, there is no shape, and that's why I like doing like this right here. There isn't a straight line anywhere. There's no straight lines. Thank you, God. No straight lines. And it's just like, shh, you know, I don't have to fucking, shit. Damn. So I'm extra enjoying this piece right here. There's no straight lines. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when I get back in here, we're going to load up some blues. We're going to start detailing the second layer for the smoke. This is a really dynamic piece. Once again, this is a performance artist out of California. His name is Butch Loxon. Talked to him a couple of months ago and just told him how much I admire the still lifes from his the still frames from his performance pieces, and just wanted to do a collaborative effort. I always call these collaborative pieces because I want the artist to get as much recognition as I'm getting, you know what I'm saying? Because I just love their craft and what they're doing, and it's different, you know what I'm saying? And so he was like, yeah, go ahead, just be a dope ass project, you know. So then now I'm trying to introduce all my people to him, you know what I'm saying? And then when I complete the piece, he can show the piece to all his people and introduce his people to me. And that's how you build like art communities, man, and motherfucking help push the art and push the craft, yo. But once again, yo, I appreciate everybody coming in here. Thanks for joining the stream. If this is your first time in the stream, definitely follow me. If you're on PlayStation, follow me on PlayStation Network. And even if you are on PlayStation, still go to the YouTube page. Follow me on YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And definitely follow some of my social medias like Facebook or Instagram. My 1,000th subscriber to the YouTube channel will receive a free painting. So it's going to be like a legit giveaway. I just gave away a drawing. I actually shipped it off today, took it to UPS and shipped it off today for a quiz challenge that we performed a couple of days ago as to just different things. Every once in a while I try to do a challenge so I can give away a drawing and just give away art. So I just shipped that off. I started a Patreon channel. The free drawing that I did a tutorial lesson on how I constructed the drawing from beginning to end. It's in 4 parts, and that is only viewable on my Patreon channel. So if you want to check out some drawing tutorials, I'm going to continue to put in-depth instructional tutorials on there. Most of the time when I'm painting, I'm just painting, and I'm not telling you exactly what I'm doing. A lot of the times you're not seeing my palette, you're not knowing the exact colors that I'm mixing. So if you want to get more in-depth and actually have a bit more of a learning experience instead of a more learning experience on the fundamentals of art instead of just the politics and religion and science and things that we normally talk about here, I would definitely advise you to subscribe and donate to the Patreon channel so you can have access to those exclusive videos. I will continue to make free content up here for my YouTubers, especially. I love YouTube, but just trying to monetize the programming and monetize my talent and the information that I can make available to people. So definitely try to check out the Patreon page and see if that's for you or not. And that's about it. That was a really, really long goodbye. Once again, just appreciate you guys hanging out, working on something kind of different. We're gonna enjoy this. I'm having a lot of fun with this, so definitely stay tuned. Like I say, YouTube, hit the notification bells so you guys know when I'm in here, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.